right, what's up, guys? It is Friday. Welcome to our Friday Fusion call. Hey, today got some leaders that want to give some agents a big shout out for going big this week. So I'm going to have them jump in here shortly. And then we're also going to dive in to mastering the call to close. Okay, so today's call is for a lot of you agents out there who just struggle being in the house and figuring out how do you call your coach? What do you say to them? And then how do you use that call to actually help you in your presentation? So that's coming here shortly. But first and foremost, I'm going to bring on Sam. I know Sam wants to give her agent a big shout out that's going big this week.
Hey.
Sam, I'm going to add you. There you are. You're live. How's it going, Sam?
Hey, it's going. It's been a week. But I just want to come on here and give Ivy a shout out. She has had a really hard week with her mom being in the hospital, and the girl still managed to put up 2,500 in AP on the week. So I want to give her a huge shout out.
Definitely. Huge shout out to you, Ivy, for doing that. I know you had just a up and down week, and yet you're still out there fighting. So continued prayers for your family and for your mom's recovery too. So love that. Hey, Sam, while I got you on here, I kind of tricked you. I said, come on here and give a video or a highlight, right, for one of your agents this week. But I'm going to pick your brain a little bit since you have been crushing it lately. Really since you got started here. What's a tip you have for an agent that wants to have a big Friday out there? What's some words of wisdom that you got for them?
I'm sorry, Ryan. It cut out a little bit. You sounded like a little bit of a robot. Can you repeat the last part of that question for me?
Yeah, definitely. What's a Friday tip that you have for an agent who just wants to finish out this week strong? Well, we might be
Oh
losing
my
Sam. I
goodness,
think
I
it's
can't
kicking her
hear.
out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
For some reason, every time, I don't know, my phone's just being crazy. You know how Apple goes. I think that you asked me to give a tip to agents on how to win their week. And the best tip that I can say is just keep going. We all have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, right? But you've got to find the joy in that day to day. Go out there, do what you're supposed to do, protect the lives that you're supposed to protect, and the rest is going to come with it. So just keep your head up and keep going. That would be my tip.
Love that tip, Sam. Thanks for jumping on here today. And shout out to you for doing big things this year. I know your team is on fire here lately. So we're going to kick it over to Aaron next. Aaron, I can see you here. Who's the agent you want to give a shout out to this week?
Hey, Ryan, can you hear me?
Hey, I got you.
Well, this is a little different. This week I want to give a shout out to Ariel. She hit the ground running extremely hard. This is her first full month in the field, and every week she has put up amazing numbers for a new agent. She's working very aged leads. No complaints. She's very coachable, um, and it makes it very easy um, to coach her, being that she is as coachable as she is, and that she reaches out like she does and communicates like she does.
That's awesome, Ariel. Shout out to you. I know we had her on the call. I think it was last week or the week before. She had like a $3,500 day, and she's just been crushing it lately. So, Aaron, first off, welcome to the live feed. This is your first time going on live at our new conference call setup. But for everybody watching, if you don't know this, Aaron is the current agent of the year so far, year to date, leading the way. She's been crushing it lately. So, Aaron, what's a tip you have for somebody to win their Friday and close out their week strong?
Really, just kind of what off of Samantha said. Just be consistent. Plan your weeks, plan your days ahead of time. Um, know where you're going, have everything ready, and stay organized. Um, and just make that connection with your clients, and that way, that's how I've gotten most of my referrals. I mean, everybody becomes part of my family, and I tell them that, and then that's honestly how the connection that you make is how you get referrals, really. So just everything that you do, being consistent, being self-motivated, disciplined, having everything ready to go every day, and just getting out there.
Love that tip, Aaron. Coming from somebody who is writing a ton of business. So nice work to you, Aaron. Big shout out to Ariel as well for coming on and having just a huge start to her career here. So Aaron, appreciate you for jumping on here. Awesome job so far this year. Next up, we're going to kick it over to Rebecca. I know Rebecca has an agent she wants to give a shout out to as well. So Rebecca, I have added you to the stage. I can't see you though. I know we're working through these glitches on this new conference call line setup, but
Hey Ryan, can you hear me?
hey Rebecca, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
That's okay. I'm driving. I don't know what. It may be reception, so who knows?
I got you. I got you.
So the agent that I want to give a shout out to is Ryan Gavario. He's been part-time for quite some time. And the reason why I want to give him a shout out is no matter what's going on, he is so incredibly coachable. And, you know, we've all worked with people that are high performers, low performers, all over the board. And the thing that makes people the best to work with is their attitude and their demeanor. And when you work with somebody that is just that willing to see and dig in what's going on and, you know, just figure out where they need to improve, it is so incredibly refreshing.
Hey, I can attest to that. I know Ryan's been super coachable. He's got like the best attitude out there. So nice work to you, Ryan. Rebecca, hey, what's a tip you have for somebody who wants to win their week this week going into Friday?
So something that kind of piggybacking a little bit off of them is this job has some incredibly amazing highs, but it also comes with some incredibly lows. And so everybody, especially nowadays, I feel like talk about doing what makes you happy. Well, the truth of the matter is happiness comes and goes. So with that being said, there's a difference between happiness and joy. So you need to find out what brings you true joy and focus on those things. So for me, you know, I find joy in my relationship with the Lord because I know that that's never going to change. And so sometimes on my lows, that's what I focus on. And one of the reasons why I want to shout out Jody is everybody loves her. Everybody loves her videos, her clips, because she always looks like she's happy and full of joy, and she focuses on those things. And so you can't tell me that she doesn't have those low points where she has to regroup and refocus. But if you find joy on those things and you focus on that, then it doesn't matter what's going on that brings you down and, you know, alleviates your happiness. But when you can focus on something that's not going to change, that's the biggest piece for me.
I love that tip, Rebecca. That's money right there. Finding joy in what you do and things that don't change. So love that, Rebecca. Hey, nice work out there to Ryan. And hey, shout out to you, Rebecca, your whole team. You guys have been crushing it lately. Justin's been putting up some big numbers. So nice work to you so far this year. And nice work to Ryan out there. So appreciate you for jumping on here, Rebecca. Hey, I'm going to give some agents a shout out. So we had some more leaders coming on, but this platform is kicking them off. So bear with us on that. But I know Jenny wanted to give a big shout out to Brianna for just having an awesome week and also just always being coachable. One thing I could say about her is in her call to close thread, she is so prepared. Like she has all her client information, details, underwriting is done. So just a phenomenal agent. So Brianna, nice work to you. Also want to give a big shout out to Caleb. Excuse me. Caleb wrote his first apps yesterday, I believe. I think he put 3 up on the board as he's kicking off his very first week here at Freedom and Faith. So Caleb, nice work to you out there for doing amazing things, man. So looking forward to the future for you here, and congrats on those first apps. So guys, just some big shout outs. You guys are crushing it so far this week. I know Kirk's having a huge month, huge week. I know so many of you, Savannah, Jenna, Julie, Becky, you guys name it. You guys have been just crushing it like always. So phenomenal work to everybody. Hey, for the rest of this call, we're going to jump into how to do a call to close. All right. So super important. I know that so many of you guys are doing these, right? But what's the right way to do it? How do you structure it? How do you make it not awkward for you and for your potential client when you're calling somebody in their house? So I'm going to add this little slideshow up here to the stage. So mastering the call to close, guys, check it out. If you're not closing at least half of the folks that you're sitting with, then you have to start doing a call to close to your coach in each house. All right. It's going to make it or break it for you when it comes down to actually doing the right thing for your client, especially if you're a new agent. If you're within your first 90 days, I would highly encourage you to never leave a house. All right. Whether you sold it, didn't sell it, doesn't matter, unless you've actually called one of your coaches, all right, for their help for this process. So what's the call to close, right? And how do you do it? Very simple, guys. You know, the call to close is after you've done your field underwriting. It's after you've done your policy review. It is you calling one of your coaches, all right, and just asking them what they would recommend for you and for your client. Why is it so important? All right, it's so important because you are just one person, right? And your client just met you. They may be fully trusting you. They might not be. But doing this reinforces everything that you've done so far in your presentation, right? It really makes it where you and your potential client are on the same team, and you're doing a third-party call, okay, to get advice. And when you do that, all right, it takes a lot of pressure off of you as the agent, and it puts it all on your coach. And it puts it on your coach in a way that you and your client can actually listen together at what somebody else is recommending for you. Okay, so how do you do it? All right, let's talk about the setup. Guys, once you text for a call to close in your call to close text thread, okay, you're going to get a reply from one of us in probably no more than 5 minutes. Very, very rare will it be that you sit there for more than 5 minutes with nobody answering your text message. But I would plan, once you send that text out that you need some help, plan to small talk for 5 to 10 minutes. All right, talk about whatever. What's going on this weekend? All right, just change the subject off of insurance. Just small talk it out. Once you get a thumbs up, all right, that's the coach that you're going to call. So the way that you structure this with your client is it's very simple, right? Hey, Miss Betty, I'm going to go ahead, all right, and call one of our specialists just to make sure that I'm on the right page and to see what they would recommend for you, okay, to see how they could help us out. Very simple. All right, guys, you pick up the phone, you call one of us. How do you set this up? Okay, the very first thing, the most important thing is that you have it on speakerphone. All right, your coach doesn't want to just talk to you. Your coach wants to talk to you and to your client so that we can get a good picture of what that client's situation is so that we can know that we're providing them the best service, right? So speakerphone, when you put it on speakerphone, it allows your client to ask questions and it makes them a part of the conversation. All right, nobody likes to be like a third wheel where they can't hear what's going on, especially if it's about them, right? So make sure it's transparent and make sure it's on speakerphone. And the way that you set up the calls is very simple, right? Hey, Ryan. Hey, I'm here with Miss Betty. All right. Just wanted to see what you would recommend for her. This is what her health situation is. Okay. Give us the medications. Give us the health conditions. That's first. Before any type of life insurance related stuff, we have to know that so we even know what direction to go in. All right. So health is first. some key items with the health. All right, guys, we need kind of like big level stuff. All right, what do I mean by that? You don't have to dive into like, hey, they take Tylenol at 3 p.m. or they take a baby aspirin or whatever, right? Like we need to know the big conditions, right? So heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes, past history of anything major, seizures, stuff like that, right? Big stuff. If they just have blood pressure, then no problem, right? So go over the health first. Then go over their current coverage if they have it. Now, this is where you as the agent, you want to set yourself up, right? You want to set yourself up for success. So the way you do that is you don't ever talk negative, all right, about what they have. Okay. Don't ever do that, because when you talk negative about something, I'm a big believer, it says more about you than it says whatever you're talking negative about, right? And your clients can sense that. So talk positive about everything that they did. If they have current coverage, all right, let's just say they just took out a graded policy through the mail. It's a 2-year wait. All right. When they made that decision, they were proud of themselves. So you don't want to discredit that. So let's say I'm in that situation. I'm going to say, hey, Ryan, I'm with Miss Betty. Here's her health, right? Now, look, she just made an awesome decision. She took out coverage just a few weeks ago, but it is a 2-year wait. And I just wanted to see if maybe you could help her out with that, right? Reinforce her positive decision to get insurance and talk about it in a positive light. All right. So go over the life insurance information. What do we need to know here, guys? Check it out. You have to call the carrier before this. You don't want to assume anything. If you assume something and you're wrong, you could really not be doing the best thing for your client, right? And you want to do the best thing for them, even if it doesn't end up in you selling something, right? If you want to make sure when you leave that house, you did right by them. So make sure you call that carrier, get all the details of that plan. All right. Super important. When you go over it, you need face amount, premium amount, all that good stuff that you guys already know. All right. But one key thing that you need, all right, on your call to close is who's the beneficiary. All right, guys, this is something a lot of agents forget to mention on their call to close. But when you mention that beneficiary, hey, Miss Betty took this plan out for her daughter, her son, right? It gives us an idea of how important this is actually is to your client. Then when we come make a recommendation, we can include their beneficiary in the conversation, right? Hey, Miss Betty, I know you want to leave money for your daughter. Give me some kind of idea, like how much do you need to leave? Why do you want to leave it, right? We can really hone in on helping them make sure that their beneficiary is set up in the best way possible. So if you're not naming off that beneficiary in your call to close, I would recommend doing it. So very simple. You give us the information. After that, that's all you have to do. Okay. We'll give you the carrier. We'll give you the product. We will tell you why we would recommend that for them. And when you wrap up that call, okay, it takes you to the next stage in this, right? Which is reinforcing and directing your client on what's next. Okay. So let's say you just did a call to close with me and I said, hey, let's go with, Mutual of Omaha for Miss Betty, right? She's going to get $40,000 in coverage. It's going to be this much money. Miss Betty, does that sound good? She says, yes. You hang up the call. All you have to do at this point, guys, is start the application, right? Hey, Miss Betty, that's great that Ryan thinks you could qualify for that. It's a really good plan. I'm going to go ahead, just ask you a few questions and we'll get it all fixed up for you. And you roll right into the application, right, guys? This is not the time to oversell. It's not the time to over explain, all right, and to talk yourself out of the sale. A lot of agents get stuck here because they try to like keep selling it, right? You don't have to sell it. They already want it. So just move right in to the application and just roll forward with it. So reinforce and direct what your coach just said. All right. And then lastly, guys, you quote it and you close it. All right. Very simple. Okay. You pull up your price sheet. You talk about budget. All right. The affordability pricing aspect, figure out what is within that budget And that's the payment or the face amount that you're going with, right? Guys, don't oversell your client. All right. It's very important for you as their agent to put them in something that they want, that they need, and then they can afford. All right. If you got those three things, you're never going to get cancellations. Want, need, and afford. All right. So lock those three things down and just make sure that they are comfortable with the decision, all right, that they made. All right. If Miss Betty cannot afford $400 a month in life insurance, don't try to sell her it. All right. If $50 is what she says she could afford, all right, start her off with that one. All right. Make sure that they're comfortable, all right, in their decision with you. Your goal as the agent is when you leave that house, all right, you're friends, right? You just made a lifelong friend. You have really helped them with something that they really needed help with. And they're comfortable in calling you, asking you any questions. All right. It's a very simple process, guys. In this business, it's not about what you write. It's about what stays on the books. All right. You can go out and write 1,000,000 policies, but if all of them are too much money and it's not really what your client wanted, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. All right. And you're not doing right by the clients that we're serving. So make sure that when you quote it and you close it, that decision's coming from that specific client, right? When you talk about the pricing, hey, Miss Betty, do you think $100, $150 is manageable for you for your life insurance per month? All right, no. Okay, what about 70 to 80? That will work. Okay, cool. Stick within that parameter. All right, guys, if you ever want to add on coverage, your client will call you back. You can call them to add it on. But if you can give them something that they want, they can afford, and that they need, it's very simple. And all three of those things should be solidified on your call to close. All right. So that when you hang up that phone, there's really no more second guessing. All right. Policy sold. It's done. Your client's helped. All right. And all you have to do is punch in the information on the e-app. All right. And get it set up. So just some quick tips for you guys on the call to close. Use this. All right, guys. If you're an agent in the house right now and you're texting, all right, like you're texting all the medical condition, all of this stuff, don't do that. Just pick up the phone. All right, shoot a text message, see which one of your coaches are free, call them, talk through this stuff on the phone. All right, the worst thing you can do as an agent in the house is be on your phone texting, all right, and not being present with your client. And if you're even on your phone for a minute, all right, texting this stuff out, you're really hurting your chances at closing the sale, and you're really hurting your connection with the client that you're sitting in front of, right? So don't be so addicted to just texting. Call your coach in each house, all right? And it's going to make a world of difference for you. I bet your closing ratio goes up 20%, 25% right away just by actually making this call. So quick tips for you guys on the call to close. We'll wrap it up there because it's coming up on 9:30, but awesome week to you guys as a whole. As an agency, you guys are doing such big things. Super proud of each and every one of you. All right, let's close out today and tomorrow strong. Let's hit those targets for the week. All right, and I hope everybody has an amazing weekend with you and your family, and we will be back here on Monday.